Hi, I'm Jacob Owen, and today I'll be discussing how I'd like to apply a constructivist approach towards my own classroom practices and how this theory applies to my personal beliefs towards education. As a new education student, many of my ideas about effective teaching have been strongly influenced by my work as a classroom SSO. Over the past 12 months, I've worked in a wide range of classrooms with a wide range of teachers and have begun developing beliefs and ideas about how I might address classroom practices myself. I definitely believe in a more active, hands-on approach to learning and believe that active engagement is far more effective than information relay. I believe it's vital to understand the individuality of each student within a classroom, including their personalities, their likes and their dislikes, and what motivates them internally and externally. The main ideas of the constructivist theory include recognizing the importance of students' past experiences rather than assuming that they're empty vessels, that new learning is built upon prior knowledge of a topic, that learning is best achieved through active processes such as exploration and problem solving, and that the role of the teacher isn't always being the source of information, but rather a facilitator assisting students to construct their own knowledge. To apply these ideas within classroom setting would be to use more active hands-on activities for the students where applicable. For example, I recently witnessed a teacher have her students physically measure areas and objects around the school as part of a broad group problem-solving activity. This was highly successful in keeping students engaged through active participation. Another common technique I've seen in younger ages is the use of concrete objects in teaching essential numeracy skills such as place value and skip counting. Again, this keeps the children engaged and active in their own learning process, which is beneficial in itself, I believe. Another application of this theory I will aim to utilise is having an understanding that each student possesses prior knowledge and experiences when approaching new content within a classroom. I'd like to better understand how and why students think the way that they do, and instead of labelling an answer as wrong, I'd like to understand how a student reached that conclusion and from there guide them towards the correct answer, again, conforming to constructivist ideas. Working closely with children as classroom support, I'm forever experiencing students who ask me for the answers to questions rather than genuinely attempting it themselves. And I'm always very conscious of this and try to assist students in finding the right answer themselves rather than me just giving it to them. The importance of reading comprehension is another personal belief of mine, and I feel that understanding text and literature as a whole is far more important than decoding skills and phonics skills, and it's far more vital for students in their learning process. The top-down theory and whole language model of literacy development are perhaps the most relevant in addressing modern comprehension demands, I think. And in my opinion, this literacy development model, with its more student-centered approach, reflects constructivist theory, meaning that the constructivist ideology can be applied across numeracy and literacy, adding strength to its application within classrooms, I believe. Roberts suggests that this theory and its encouragement of active learning processes often results in more group work and group activities within classrooms, and this in itself teaches students social skills such as listening to others, taking value from their opinions and input, which I think is a really important life skill to have moving forward, trying to navigate through society. McLeod suggests there are limitations with the constructivist theory in that it's difficult to adequately evaluate the student's learning when it's so individualised. Boethel and Dimick argue that teachers can't respond to the multitude of students' interests due to lack of resources available in the classroom or school. And Roberts again supports this argument, suggesting that the differences in prior knowledge in students inhibits teachers from customising their curriculum for each individual student, basically suggesting that the individual nature and ideas of this theory do create a lot more challenges for teachers to have to get to know all of their students and this and that. So the main concern I have based on my own experiences, however, in using a constructivist approach is the assumption that all children have a positive attitude towards school and learning. I think core values and beliefs are always formed within the home, and in some cases I've found that the influences from home have facilitated negative attitudes towards school and learning. And so there's those type of scenarios that I think reveal a bit of a limitation. However, understanding those socio-cultural influences in the first place does sort of highlight a benefit of the constructivist approach. Thank you for listening. Yeah.